is the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. Live.
You down with Rapaport? Yes, I am. 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 You better tune in, IamRapaport.com. Cause every single podcast, you know he drops bombs. I seen him on set, a seasoned vet with true talent. Catch him on his way to CrossFit, rocking the New Balance. He asked me to do the track cause he know I rhyme elite. But I'm just waiting for the Robert De Niro line of the week. Breakfast of Champions, hosted bagel, cream cheese, and lox. This is I Am Rapaport, the show never stops. You might catch him out in public, stretching his knees. But if you don't listen to the show, yo, wig up please. Wig up please. This is the I Am Rapaport Podcast.
Yo, this is Michael Rapaport, and I have the pleasure of interviewing Troi Torain, a.k.a. Star.
Joe Scumbag.
From Star and Bucwild.
The jerk from Jersey.
I'm a big fan. I literally have just met you for the first time.
Yeah.
And I told you I'm tripping out because I didn't know you had feet. Because my whole life I've heard you, and then even on your show, it's shot from the waist up, and I didn't know you had fucking legs.
I'm here. I got legs. We actually got a couple of whores in the kitchen. The Molly's on the table, and it's a Saturday afternoon. It's a good day. How are you, Mike?
I'm good. And you know what I was afraid of? I'm going to ask you on the air because the first time I met you was over the radio. I was doing press for the Tribe Called Quest movie, and I called into your show, and I was I kept telling my girl, yo, I'm doing Star. She was like, who the fuck are you talking about? I was like, yo, I got it. At 3:20, I'm speaking.
We had a good conversation.
We had a good conversation, but I was nervous as fuck. Because
as you should be,
as I should be, because the idea of getting a tongue lashing from Star is it's a horrifying thing. So I'm gonna make this offer on air.
Uh-oh.
Can I pay for your parking or anything? Because I'm afraid when I leave this interview, the next time you go on your show, he goes, I went to go visit that Jew motherfucker, Michael Rapaport. I drove all the way into the city.
The parking is paid for.
But then you say, I went to go do this Jew motherfucker, Michael Rapaport, and then Alias does the bells.
God bless the Jews. There is no God, but God bless the Jews, God's chosen people. I'm an atheist, but when I was a believer, God's chosen people.
That's right.
Are the Jews.
So anyway, it's a real pleasure to talk to you and to be here because, like I said, I'm a fan.
Okay.
And I grew up in New York City, but by the time you got on the radio, I was an adult, and it was just I
got on the radio. Sorry to cut you off. In March of 2000, so many people.
That was the first time?
Yeah. So many people, I mean, I don't mean to sound too cocky. My impact was so big and so fast, people think I was on the radio in the 90s. I started doing terrestrial radio in March of 2000.
What were you doing before that?
I was making counterfeit money, selling guns, and all sorts of shit down on St. John's and Nostrand. I was doing a whole bunch of shit. I had put in 8 years at record labels.
Okay.
WEA, Warner Electra Atlantic. I was national director at Virgin Records from 1990 till 1991. I worked with the very talented and the beautiful Sylvia Rohn at Atlantic Records. I did a lot of, behind the scenes.
Like A&R type of shit?
No. My thing was marketing, promotion.
But that's what you did?
Yeah, that's what I specialized in.
And you had no interest. How did you do that and then become a radio personality? Because I know you play bass.
Guitar.
And so you're a musician, and then you got behind the scenes, and then how the fuck do you wind up on the radio?
I moved to New York, 1981, to be a rock and roll star, bass player.
Right.
And
it's so funny when you say that. It's so funny. Will you have pictures of yourself in 81?
Yeah. I'll give you a copy of my book.
What kind of shit? What was your look in 81?
Skinny, long hair, just in the heavy metal and rock and roll.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah.
That's fucking dope.
But I got into the record labels because of my passion for wanting to be in the music business.
Okay.
So I was working, again at WEA Atlantic, and I was promoting Winger, Rat, Skid Row, Debbie Gibson.
I got you.
All the stuff that came out of the Atlantic, Asylum, and Elektra.
So at one point, Troi Torain, a.k.a. Star, had to be like, this Debbie Gibson album is fire.
Fire.
You had to say
Electric Youth.
You had to say, this Debbie Gibson album is on. This is that shit.
I called record stores from fucking Maine down to Florida promoting Debbie Gibson.
And tell me like the quick pitch that you gave.
5 days a week. I don't remember.
No, but essentially you were like, this is that shit.
This is that shit you need. Can I get a report to the Billboard? Billboard reporters to the top 40 stations. I was on coke and I was a hell of a goddamn promotion.
All
man.
right, so everybody who knows who is Troi, Torain, aka Stars, knows the irony of him saying Debbie Gibson is that fucking crack you need to buy.
That's right. Yeah, once upon a time.
All right, so go ahead and continue, like, and tell me how it became from that to Star and Bucwild.
It's all been business over the years. It's all business. And after working at the record labels, I got fired from Virgin Records. I was out of control. It was my last year of doing coke. and I went ballistic with my fucking expense account. I ran up like a $40,000 tab. I had no way to pay it. I was living in Battery Park City. And they just said, hey, enough's enough. You're out of control. You can't pay this tab. Get the fuck out.
Right.
So that was the end of my record company days.
Okay.
But, just being hungry, being inspired by Manhattan, New York City.
Right.
I created a magazine called Around the Way Connections.
Okay.
I then hooked up with another great Jew by the name of Dave Mays.
Okay.
That is my main wigger on the trigger. Real talk.
I got you. I think I know who Dave Mays is.
Yeah, Dave Mays. He and John Schechter.
Yes. I know these Jew
created the fucking
cocksuckers.
Source magazine.
I know these Jew pricks.
So I wound up, after publishing my own magazine, writing a column for the Source magazine.
Okay.
Called Reality Check.
Okay.
I was Bucwild.
I got you.
So I brought in my half.
Oh, I didn't.
My
so
half
you
brother
were Bucwild.
I was Bucwild.
Okay.
I wrote the columns. I used his face, and that's how Star and Bucwild became. The wannabe Abbott and Costello team.
Okay.
But we had no fucking chemistry. I mean, I was very aggressive, and he was just a fucking burnout. We had no chemistry. We still don't. So that was the beginning of Star and Bucwild. I wrote the columns in the Source for 4 years called Reality Check.
Okay.
And he was the face that I used.
And at the time, the Source magazine was
the shit.
It was a huge magazine. How can we contextualize it? Because magazines themselves are not as popular now. But I mean, really, if you were part of if you liked hip hop, it was Rolling Stone for everything else, and the Source was
That's
the
right.
only source for hip hop shit.
The Source was the Bible.
Yeah, so I mean, just to give it context for the younger listeners of the I Am Rapaport podcast, because this is a fucking worldwide phenomenon, the I Am Rapaport podcast.
I believe it, my
people
wigger. Thank
go
you.
fucking crazy,
Thank you for the invite.
So I mean, the studio's plushed out. We're in the fucking I Am Rapaport.
I'm enjoying it.
So that's how you became
Star and Bucwild
on the radio. And when you first went on there,
not on radio. We're talking mid '90s when I started writing this column. And after 4 years, I wanted to shift gears. I wanted to try and take the Star and Bucwild. It wasn't even a brand then. It was still bubbling. We were known through the Source magazine.
Right.
But I decided to get a public access television show.
Okay. I
used the old Joe Franklin formula, just one fucking camera. We're just sitting there drinking. We had the American flag behind us. We had a bunch of liquor on the table. You ever seen the shows?
Yes, I did. Okay. At that point, I lived in Los Angeles, so I would catch the show only when I came to New York.
So we did the public access show for maybe a year and 2 months. And Rod Asa over at MTV reached out to us. And we went to MTV for a meeting. And before we got there, I just said to Buck, I said, look, man, I said, just follow my lead. I know you're a fucking burnout. Just agree with everything I say. And we went in there and I closed the fucking deal. They wanted Heavy D and Nas to host the show, but they didn't have a budget, for writers and all that shit. And I said, well, look, I write for the Source magazine. So you can give us, whatever you want to pay them. I'll write the scripts.
Heavy D and Nas were going to host the show?
It's called the Beat Suite.
Wow.
Yeah. But they couldn't afford them or something with the fucking...
That's just a bugged out concept.
No, not together. They were the two candidates.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. And I have to acknowledge Havelock Nelson. He wrote some episodes for us as well on the Beat Suite. And we were at MTV for a year.
Could you curse on MTV?
No. They had a standards department that used to monitor our shows. Literally come to the tapings and we would have to do some retakes. If I did like this, or I did, some type of gesture,
right,
some type of Italian thing, because
right.
I'm half Italian, they'd say, whoa, we can't do that.
And but you had to keep it PG, not even PG-13, right?
But I'm cool with that. So,
okay.
So we did it PG-13.
But fuck that, though, because Troi, Torain, Star, there's no handcuffs. There has to be no verbal rules and regulations on you to get the full package. It's 2015. I understand that this is back then, but I'm saying the thing that I love about the YouTube stuff is that you speak so freely. And I just think that in this day and age with the way media is and the internet and there's so many forms, like to hear you speak totally freely, it's a thing of fucking beauty. And I truly, my girl, sometimes she'll be like, what the fuck are you laughing at? It'll be the middle of the day. And it's a lot of times when I'm having a bad day, I'll be like, I need to turn this fucking guy on. Because the shit that you say is so insightful, it's thought-provoking, but it's also funny as fuck.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
It's fucking funny as fuck. And sometimes your reactions to things are the most funny. Like, you just the little shit in between, like when callers call in. Like, I love all that shit.
Thank you. Well, I will say this, though. What we did on MTV, I'm very proud of that. And there was also a period in radio in 2004 when I went to Hartford, Connecticut. I never used the word bitch. I never used the word nigger on the airwaves.
Right.
You see, I grew up on Abbott and Costello.
Right.
They didn't have to use profanity.
Right.
I also loved Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby.
Oh, shit.
The 3 films that they did, Uptown Saturday Night, Let's Do It Again, and Piece of the Action.
Yes.
They didn't have to use profanity and all that stuff.
Right.
So in my mind, I don't always want to use profanity.
I hear you.
I don't always want to be, just such a wild fucking cowboy.
I hear you. I hear you.
Me?
If you were to say, but you don't like to use it because I know I sometimes, especially like, when talking on the internet or this, you could just fuck, and I rest on it. Like you almost use it. It's almost like a cheap lyric.
Right.
But if you were to say, right now, if you were to do a new show or whatever, would you ever make a choice to be on your own? I don't want to use profanity.
I would rather not.
You would rather not?
Yeah. Because you have to push yourself
to think,
to
right?
really be creative.
I agree.
On how to say things
I agree.
that penetrate and get to the masses.
I agree. That's smart.
Right now, every jerk off, every loser, every wannabe can curse.
That's a good point.
They can fart and belch.
Right.
And it doesn't mean that it's creative.
Right.
You're just doing it because you can do it.
None of these places like CNBC, CNN, I guess they're probably fucking, I don't know if they're unaware of you or frightened of you because your point of view is so vivid, it's so real, it could be so offensive. They've never reached out to you?
I don't have, and I'll be very honest with you, I move at a very methodical pace.
Right.
I'm not like bird shit. I'm not all over the place.
Right.
And for people who know Star and Bucwild, that's cool.
Right.
But there's also, other things that I can do, that I am doing.
Right.
I mean, I'm the same person,
Right.
Troi, Torain, and Star are not 2 different people.
Right.
I'm the same fucking guy.
I got you.
But I don't have a quote-unquote agent or manager.
Right. You're like the fucking Bill Murray of radio. He doesn't have an agent.
Does he?
Nope.
Okay.
He hasn't had an agent for years, Bill Murray. Like, if you want to get Bill Murray, you got to find him.
Bill Maher?
Bill Murray.
The
great Bill Murray.
Okay.
Bill Murray.
Yeah.
No agent.
Yeah, so I don't have somebody out there, knocking on doors like that. But I do, talk to radio people from time to time about different opportunities. But I don't want to do old school hip hop.
Right.
I don't want to do classic R&B.
Right.
So those things are not of interest to me.
You really don't like. There's got to be hip hop that you've liked over the years. Now it's an abomination.
It's all bullshit now.
Bullshit's not the word.
With the exception of Drake. I like Drake's music.
Wait. You're throwing me fucking loops here, man. With the exception? Yo, that's a big... Drake, if you're listening, you just got to fucking... I mean, I don't know if you realize how big of a plug that is. You just said except for Drake.
Drake is creative.
He's creative.
He has good melodies.
And I think he should write for other people. It's his presentation that I don't like.
Oh, yeah?
It's just his voice. Like his voice sounds fucked up, and he just looks. I don't know if he is. He looks like a straight herb. Like from you're older than me, but like from the era. I'm 44.
Okay.
Okay, so but I'm from the 80s and the 90s.
All right.
and like if you saw Drake like rhyming on the corner, he wouldn't even get anything out of his mouth, just on the fact that he's on that I'll Be Sure, Toronto, biracial, corny looking shit. He looks like that. I'm not saying he is like that, but he'd have to be extra ill to be able to come out with that bullshit, that I'll Be Sure shit, rhyming.
I don't care what he looks like.
I got you.
But his music.
I got you.
His music works for me.
But you know what I'm saying.
And to answer your question, which I think you were trying to ask me, I respect a lot of hip hop.
Right.
Going back to the golden era.
Yes.
But it's not what I wake up to.
Right.
I don't blast hip hop in my house. I don't listen to hip hop in my vehicle.
If you were
I respect it.
Okay.
But it's not, it doesn't represent me.
I hear you. I love that.
Especially after the golden era.
Oh, man.
It just went downhill.
And now it's the shit show era.
And I will say this, and you can, try and debate if you want to. Hip hop is not a culture. It's a genre of music. That's it.
Yes.
A culture has parameters,
yes,
guidelines, a fucking council. Hip hop's not a culture.
That's a fucking good point. I'm not going to argue with you. Let me ask you a question.
People have tried. Great people that I love and respect.
Right.
KRS-One.
Yes.
Chuck D.
Yes.
They have tried to make it a culture.
Right.
Kool Herc. Grandmaster Caz, they have tried, and these are honorable men.
Right.
But it is not a fucking culture.
Right. I hear you. That's a good fucking point.
It's a cesspool of fucking bullshit right now.
Yep.
It's an insane asylum. And anybody can get in, jerk their cock, rap to a beat, and get paid.
It's a fucking joke.
It's sad.
It's a fucking joke. Let me ask you a question. I'm taking a segue here. If you had to pick, it could be, I don't care of any genre. I like to ask, you're one of the few people that I've interviewed on the show, but I'm always curious about this. And it was also kind of, now it's been highlighted in this movie. But if you, in this Chris Rock movie, Top 5, which was a good movie.
I did not see it yet.
It's good. You should check it out. It's funny. If you were to go on an island and you could only bring, this is the rest of your life, 5 records, you, Troi Torain, what records would they be? To listen to. 5 DVDs, records. Listen, this is your beach for the rest of your life.
Well, I can already tell you that one of those would be Rush.
Okay.
Power Windows.
Okay.
That would be number 1.
Okay, number 1. There's no order. You could play them, not play them. This is all you got.
Rush would be number 1.
It's Blue Lagoon.
Okay. Number 2 would be any album by Chic.
You got to pick the fucking album.
I think their debut album, Chic.
Okay.
Just Chic. It's got the 2 girls blowing the whistle.
Okay.
I would take that number 2.
That's number 2.
Number 3 would be probably the Motor Booty Affair.
Oh, fuck.
Parliament Funkadelic.
Yes. I brought that record up. I swear to God, yesterday I brought that record up. Yesterday.
Yeah.
All right, number 4.
Number 4 would be Holy Diver by Ronnie James Dio.
Okay, I don't know that record.
On guitar, Vivian Campbell.
Okay.
On drums, Vinny Appice.
I don't even know who the fuck that is.
Ronnie James Dio used to sing with Black Sabbath.
Oh, shit.
He also sang in Rainbow.
Okay.
The baddest fucking vocalist, heavy metal vocalist ever. Ronnie James Dio.
I'm going to check that fucking record out.
Yeah.
And then number 5.
Number 5 would be Return to Forever.
Okay.
What I would not take is a fucking hip hop album.
I knew that was coming, but no, that's what I was asking.
No.
When you were in and on the radio, hip hop was and still is, but I mean it was really fucking huge.
The dominant genre.
Humongous. Yeah. I mean, this is when motherfuckers were selling 6, 7, 8 platinum, like Ja Rule, and these motherfuckers.
I have a lot of respect for its impact, but sadly,
I got you.
The people involved in the fucking machine of hip-hop allowed it to become something that separates blacks by way of old school and new school. Mm-hmm. And, I've had my issues with it over the years.
Right.
But I'm very comfortable with the fact that I was involved in the golden era of hip hop.
Right.
I was there.
Right.
I worked at the record labels. I went to all the fucking release parties.
Right.
I even went to one of Kool G Rap's release parties uptown back in the days. I was at the I saw NWA when they first performed at the Apollo Theater.
Oh shit.
I've seen a lot of groups perform. I've met many people coming up.
Right.
So I don't hate hip hop. I don't want people to take that away from this.
Right.
I just, I've found that it has just lost credibility over the decades.
Do you feel that some of the shit you've said or your opinions that people have thought, oh, this guy just fucking hates hip-hop and doesn't respect it at all, because of some of your criticism about it?
Well, that's fine because I am the fly in the ointment.
Right.
I'm here to stir the pot.
Right.
And I don't have to, appeal to people in order to find, a peace within myself or some type of fucking inner fulfillment.
No, absolutely. I'm just saying in terms of like...
I have wanted people to think at times that I was just totally anti-hip-hop because I want them to do some fucking research to find out if some of the things that I'm saying are true or not. Just like I'm saying hip-hop is not a culture.
Right.
I want someone to prove to me that it is a culture because I don't think they can.
Right.
Judaism is a culture, yes?
Right, yes.
It has a council, yes?
Yes.
It has guidelines.
Yes.
It has parameters.
Yes.
What the fuck does hip-hop have? None of that shit.
I got you.
It's a free-for-all.
But
anyways, but I just want to say that there are certain people that I have so much respect for.
Right.
That I have, not just done business with, but I have had great relationships with. And I'm very fortunate to have met, Chuck D and Flavor Flav because they were the epitome of the golden era.
Right.
And it would have been hard to have been a hater, whether you'd be a player hater or an objective hater during the golden era of hip hop.
Absolutely.
And because of my involvement with my firsthand involvement with the golden era of hip hop.
Right.
When I hit the radio in March of 2000 on Hot 97, I had a lot of shit to say because I was in the Flashy Fly Jiggy era.
Right.
I was in the Murder Inc.
Right.
The Bad Boy era. And with all due respect to Diddy.
Right.
I was in the Flashy Fly Jiggy era. Mace talking about the briquettes on his sleeve, all that silly shit.
Right.
Even though he spit it,
he had flow.
He had the flow. He was a fucking clown. He's a fucking clown who probably drinks his Pepsi with a straw. And I've said that before.
Oh, shit.
In case anybody didn't catch that one.
Oh, shit. All right. The whole objective of hate, the whole theory, the whole point of view, the whole fucking barrage. Like I said, like your tongue lashings can be so violent. But I'm just saying with the tongue, like they're so ferocious and the whole onslaught. Was that something that started organically, or was it calculated? I know you talked about Lenny Bruce as an inspiration, and I think one time, I don't know what the fuck it was, but you said something like, I'm the new Lenny Bruce, or something like, so or was it emotional and then you started to own it? Do you know what I'm saying?
I can tell you exactly what it is, and you'd probably laugh.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm from New Jersey. That's it.
Okay.
I'm from a place
Break that down.
I'm from a place called Scotch Plains, New Jersey.
Okay, explain that.
My mother's Neapolitan, Italian.
Okay.
My father was African American.
Okay.
So there are similarities in how we grew up.
Right.
Me and all of my friends, we used to bust each other's balls.
Right.
We rank on you, your sister, your mother.
Were you good at it?
I was awesome at it.
I was good too.
I was awesome at it.
It kept people at a distance.
Yeah.
Because people don't want to fuck with you. It's like you could be able to fight, which I couldn't really do. You could play ball. You could be a murderer. You could be pretty boy. You could be, but if you could pop shit, that would be like sort of like a credential.
That's right.
That would be some way to keep people.
So I'm from New Jersey.
Okay.
I'm a spoiled kid, the youngest of two boys.
Okay.
I had everything I ever needed and wanted.
And you're straight Italian mom and black father.
Mm-hmm.
Mom's straight Italian.
Neapolitan. Not to be confused with Sicilian trash.
No, I got you. But I'm saying she's an Italian woman.
Vicious woman.
Okay.
Would not allow me to bring Jew broads in her house. Whoa! She said, don't you ever bring any Yenta trash into this house. You can bring a Puerto Rican. You can bring a colored chick.
But no fucking Jews.
Don't you bring those little dirty Yenta girls into my home.
That's real shit.
That's real shit.
That's real shit.
That's real shit.
Okay.
But hang on. Okay, so I was a spoiled kid. Mopeds every year, swimming pool. When I got to New York, I dropped out of high school.
And you're how old?
I'm 50 now.
No, then, at this point.
17.
Okay.
I dropped out of high school. I started sniffing blow, hanging with whores. But I remember a lot of things that my mother and father, but mainly my mother, because my mother was a news reporter and she was also a school teacher. But she always used to tell me, keep a book in your back pocket at all fucking times.
Okay.
And keep a watch on your wrist.
Okay.
And she told me other things, but those were the main things. So I Always.
And she tell you, other than that, go fuck yourself. And then
she told me a lot of shit.
Okay, but those are two things.
In terms of how I became the verbal assassin that you say I am.
Yes.
My mother put me on to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Oh, really?
An Italian woman. She gave me the book, Message to the Black Man. She says, take this, read it, draw your own conclusions.
When you were how old?
Maybe 14.
Oh, shit.
She said, draw your own conclusions. You should be aware of this.
Uh-huh.
So he was a vicious, beautiful, intelligent man.
Right.
You see, he was the real, cut and dry, verbal assassin.
Right.
Malcolm X was, more funny.
Right.
Malcolm had the flair and the pop.
Right.
But Elijah Muhammad was just cold-hearted. So I used to listen to a lot of Elijah Muhammad cassettes.
That's really fucking interesting.
So I learned about history, not just through the private. I went to private schools. And I combined that with other things, and then through my favorite band, or one of my favorite bands, Chic and Rush.
Okay.
But through Rush, I was introduced to Ayn Rand.
Okay.
And objectivism.
Okay.
Her philosophy. So when I started reading Ayn Rand books, and then getting into the objectivist field, I became not just confident, but I found ways to harness my arrogance, my cockiness, and to be assertive, but to be more of a businessman.
All right, here's another thing.
Hey, we have to talk about basketball at some point. Can we start at the greatest basketball player ever first?
Who in your opinion? Don't say Bill Russell.
What do you mean, who?
Walt Frazier? Don't say Bill Russell.
I'm sorry, I said the greatest.
Don't say Bill Russell to me, because
the greatest. Let's not kid ourselves.
Okay, I say
Larry Bird.
I'm not going to argue with that, but I would take Jordan over Bird. Doc handed it off to Jordan. And
Doc who?
Sorry, excuse me.
Were you about to say Dr. J?
Yeah, excuse me.
I was about to throw this mic through the fucking window and walk out.
Wait, let me break it down, because I could debate hard. Like, there's certain things I'm like, I don't want to go.
Dr. J.
No, let me.
The choke artist. Get the fuck out of here.
No. Hold on. Everybody fucking calm down.
Yeah, chill.
Okay, Doc, Magic, Larry.
Doc who, though?
The good doctor, Dr. J, Julius Erving.
Oh, come on, man.
Yes, but no, I'm not saying. I'm saying in terms of the face.
Fancy, fly, jiggy, showboat nigga, and he's lucky he got one ring. Please.
See, this is why you're fucking funny, man.
He's lucky he got one ring. He was toward the end of his fucking.
I'm not saying his greatest players.
Moses Malone got that fucking ring.
Yes, 4-5-4.
For the Sixers. Please, now let's go back to the greatest, Larry Bird.
No, he's not better than Michael Jordan. I would take Jordan's definitely better than.
Hang on a second.
How are you going to say that Larry Bird is the greatest ever?
Can I explain?
Please.
Can I explain?
I love Larry.
Can I explain?
Go ahead.
The greatest, Larry Bird, played against the baddest black motherfuckers ever unified.
Every night. Every
year.
Night after night. Game after game.
Let's start with that bad black motherfucker, James Worthy.
Yes.
Let's start with that bad black motherfucker, Bob McAdoo.
Yes.
That bad black motherfucker, Lou Alcindor,
yes.
a.k.a. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yes.
And that bad motherfucker, Magic Johnson.
Yes.
Okay. Larry
Dominique
Bird
was there at the time, too.
I'll get to that jiggy nigga, surely. But Larry Bird pushed how many championships out of the Celtics?
Did he win 4?
3. You see?
3.
Come on, man.
He only won 3. And how much did Magic win?
He couldn't jump, and he gave those fancy jiggy niggas hell. Okay? He inspired, and he took the torch from Bill Russell. I'm not going to say Bill Russell was the greatest, but
Don't say it.
No, I'm not. But Larry Bird is the fucking greatest. Now, let's just bypass all that, because I want to get to the fucking Knicks. And I want to put something...
Wait, no. I have to stop you, because I have to say, you mean to tell me, gun to your head, if you were going to take one basketball player to play against the fucking evils that be in the world...
At their peak.
I've stolen this concept from Bill Simmons, because he talks about this in the book.
That would be Larry Bird.
Not Michael Jordan wouldn't be the first person you pick.
Michael Jordan, he's one of the greatest, but the greatest is Larry Bird.
All right. See, the thing is that it's hard to argue because it's a team sport. We're talking about individual.
Well, it's hard for you to argue because black on black crime is real, but white on white hate is really real.
I'm giving fucking Star a fucking pound.
White on white hate is a motherfucker. I love this
fucking guy. You are a funny motherfucker. No, the reason why. Here's my thing with Larry Bird.
Don't deny the Caucasian man. The Caucasian man's fucking dominance in basketball.
You're one of these white motherfuckers who only likes black motherfuckers.
Yeah.
No, fuck that. That's not the case.
Okay.
Here's why, and I've talked about this before, not only on the show, but and I have regrets about it. But when Bird was in the league, first of all, I think there was factions. Like you were either a Bird guy or a Magic guy. But I was also, at the core, wait, let me finish. At the core, for my age too, so I'm a little younger. Okay, so I'm a little bit younger. So, like those guys, like I was 9 and 10 when I was first introduced to them. So I wasn't. You might have been fucking 20.
I'm 50 years old now. I was born in 64.
Okay,
you were
like
60.
60. I was 70. I'm 70. So you were 17. So your point of view and your opinion, you had already loved it. So that's a factor. But I was such a Knicks fan, and he fucked the Knicks so bad all the time. And I like Dr. J more than I like Larry Bird. And Larry Bird shat on Dr. J. So I'm telling you this. So wait.
My wigger, if you put Dr. J's name in this conversation one more fucking time.
No, I'm just telling you.
I'm going to smash your fucking coffee table.
What I'm saying to you
Dr. J came out of the ABA. He was fly with all the big afro. But his game was it was...
No, I understand.
Mediocre. Come on, man.
I understand. It wasn't as evolved as those guys' games.
Fuck out of here.
It wasn't as evolved as those guys' games, absolutely. But neither was fucking... Like, that's why I'm saying, like, you could take John Sally. I told this to John Sally to his face. If John Sally had played in the Bill Russell era, John Sally would be like Bill Russell on fucking steroids. He looked at me like I was crazy. I was like, John, you were playing against... white motherfuckers, 6'6" centers. My uncle, Arnie, was a fucking center who played against Bill Russell. What the fuck is Arnie gonna do? No, I'm bullshitting.
Oh, okay, bullshit.
But look at Dolph Shays and the league was predominantly white. Okay, and his biggest competition was Wilt Chamberlain, who he got the better of, but arguably anyway, any fucking way. The point is that I grew up hating Larry because he shitted on my Knicks. And he shitted on Bernard King. He just shitted on my Knicks over and over that I couldn't appreciate him while he was playing. Do you understand? Imagine if Twitter existed when Larry Bird played. The amount of Twitter hate would be for that fucking ugly fucking...
Unfortunately, I don't do hypotheticals, but I just want to say this. Larry Bird shut Michael Jordan down.
When?
On many fucking occasions. What are you kidding me? Do you watch highlights?
Shut him down?
On many occasions. Now, Michael Jordan, he was a volume shooter. He was a ball hog.
Yes.
He did not learn
that time.
Hang on. He did not learn the science of fucking basketball until Bird was out of the league.
I agree.
He was just a ball hog. He was a jumping around 360 tomahawk slamming nigga. And he was the bad motherfucker, shut your mouth, yada yada yada.
Oh shit.
But he couldn't do shit with Larry Bird.
But then Michael figured it out and cracked that ass.
Well, somebody had to teach him the science of fucking basketball.
And Phil had a lot to do with it.
Well, Phil Jackson did because Michael Jordan's first coach was Doug Collins. So Phil Jackson taught this guy the game that Larry Bird already knew.
Yes.
So let's not play games about who was better. Michael Jordan is one of the greatest, but Bird is the fucking best. Now, if we can fast forward to the Knicks.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Yes.
Somewhere after Bernard King, the great Bernard King, big butt nigga from Brooklyn. Somewhere after Bernard King, the Knicks became some type of fucking thug hip hop outfit. You had Oakley, Mason, you had Patrick Ewing, and it became
Latrell?
Well, I'll get to Speedy in a second. It became a thug operation, and it's just like,
we tried in the 90s, man, the Pat Riley teams, but how could you not like that team? They were gooning.
I'll tell you why.
Pat Ewing?
I'll tell you why. Because the Knicks...
John Starks?
I'm going to tell you why.
Go ahead.
The Knicks that won the last championship in 1973 had a mixture of black and white players.
Yes.
Honestly, the Knicks became too black.
I'm thinking about that.
Too black.
But how many white players?
How do you bring in a black guy with fucking cornrows who choked his coach out on the West Coast? He doesn't have the finesse of a Walt Frazier.
No.
He doesn't understand the fact that this is the number one market and you have to have a swagger that people respect. You don't come into town being a fucking goon.
But Pat Riley really set the tone for that shit. Or are you saying you're saying not even on the court, you're saying just in general?
I'll agree with you. Pat Riley set the tone for the goon shit.
And you know what?
It's too black.
Too black.
You need some white boys on the Knicks. And until you get some white boys, you're not winning shit. Carmelo Anthony, respect to him. I love his wife, Lala. He's a volume shooter.
I agree.
You ain't winning no fucking championship with Carmelo Anthony.
I'm not going to argue. See, that's what you're not going to get from me.
Okay.
I am not going to fucking argue with you about...
J.R. Smith, goodbye, my nigga.
Get the fuck out of town.
You're up in clubs with fucking Dipset. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you know what, J.R.?
Iman Shumpert, you want to be on World Star. Get the fuck out of here.
Get your fucking... Yeah. Get the fuck... I agree. I had enough of those two fucking guys. I had enough of them. But you're not going to... I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to sit here and be like defending the fucking Knicks.
We need a Danny Ainge.
How loved would Kevin Love be in New York?
There you go. Now you're talking.
And I mean, you get a fucking white dude who could shoot.
It's too black. It's too hip hop. I'm sorry, and I'm a man of color saying that.
I'm not going to say that's the reason why we suck because it's too black. But I'm going to say I am with you.
You suck for a lot of other reasons.
But do you love the Knicks? Would you be happy if they did well?
I got thrown out of the Garden 3 times. The last time they gave me a warning because I have a permit to carry. And I had my holster on. I was up in the bleachers, and I'm throwing fucking shit down there. And security said, "Hey, Star, sit down.
Sit your fucking ass down."
Sit down. And I wouldn't sit down. I was drunk, and they said, "Get the fuck out." So they gave me a warning. So I can't go back for other reasons. But
get a Groucho Marx nose and let's fucking go in there.
Let's
Come
go.
courtside
I'll
with
go
me.
with you. I'll go.
Can you rock the? But you got to watch the Groucho Marx nose and the mustache.
Yeah.
Oh shit! No, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna ask. This is something because we've been talking. This is fun. I got a question because your stance on the shootings, black on black crime, the thugs, the gangs, the shooting in the hood, all the fucking the horror of all that shit, and you spoke out about that for years. And now your take on the cops. Can you articulate to me about like sort of the growth of that and the point of view of that and what ignites you about that?
Well, let's separate black on black crime from these fucking drug addict cops. And in my opinion, they are drug addicts, high in authority. Let's separate black on black crime because you know that's a whole nother myth that we can deal with a little bit later. But you know the numbers are skewed and low level policing is what makes the numbers bigger than what they really are in terms of so-called black on black crime. But now I used to be a big time cop supporter.
Right.
I applied to be a police officer 3 times in my life.
Are you serious?
I was rejected all 3 times.
I'm sorry to laugh.
Half my family's Italian on my mother's side. I got some retired captains. I got 2 cousins that actually were cops, did time in the penitentiary because they were dirty cops. Shout out to my cousin Sal.
What up, Sal? Hope you listen. He listens to the Star and Bucwild podcast. We're big in the penitentiary.
I used to justify every fucking beating, choking, shooting of a black and a Hispanic at the hands of a cop.
Now, why would you? Would you do it for fun?
Because
would you do it to be funny?
Because I wanted to be a cop. I wanted to be a drug addict, high in authority. And it's a good thing that I was rejected because I would have been a dirty cop. I'd be doing 20 years in the penitentiary right now. Some fucking drug deal's gone bad. Shaking somebody down, shooting black kids in the back, unarmed.
I'm not laughing. I'm laughing at the way you say it. Go ahead.
I was a big-time cop supporter. I'm 50 years of age now. After the Trayvon Martin shooting at the hands of a wannabe cop.
Right.
I just started to reflect on where I was at and where I am at now.
Right.
And I feel for people who are losing their kids, even though I have no biological kids.
Right.
At the hands of drug addicts.
Right.
These cops in this country should not be carrying guns. That's number one.
Right.
Now, do we need cops? Yes.
Yeah.
Cops, citizens on patrol. But their fucking mentality is not what it should be. They're arrogant. Mm-hmm. The way they approach people is bullshit. This is America, land of fuckery. Our forefathers and the pilgrims came here so we could freak off and fuck off, do drugs, fuck animals, bestiality. Yeah, I'm not into that, but I'm just saying. Yeah, America promotes all the shit,
right,
of Sodom and Gomorrah,
right.
So now, why do you not want people to have fun if you're a cop? Why?
What do you mean?
Because the cops are so fucking greedy. They've got quotas. They're fucking greedy. All this low-level policing, this piece of shit, Patrick Lynch. You're an uneducated piece of shit. You didn't go to school.
He did it, huh?
He didn't go to college. He was grandfathered in. He's got the old mentality. He's a fucking lowlife and a loser. His teeth are fucking jagged.
Yeah.
And I just said, hey, I feel for people's kids, people's fathers, daughters, cousins who are getting shot down like wild dogs.
Now what if
and the killings are being justified?
I think it's disgusting. I think and it hasn't just been going on.
So I changed my position. I was wrong. If anybody remembers me being a big-time cop supporter, I was wrong. And they are out of control. In England, 1829, Sir Robert Peel brought forth the Metropolitan Police Act, which prevented cops, or bobbies as they call them, or they used to call them peelers too, prevents them from carrying guns on patrol. Now, they have guns, firearms in the glove compartment of the vehicle if they need it.
Right.
And they have a special unit that will come with guns if they need it. But if you get caught with an illegal handgun, you're doing hard fucking time.
So that's
what we need here.
Yeah, I agree. The guns are out of fucking control.
Any black or Hispanic kid shooting at a fucking hip-hop concert should do 10 years in the fucking penitentiary.
Right.
10 fucking years.
Period. No ifs, ands, or buts.
No, fuck you, fuck your mother.
10 years.
Bam.
That's it. Any color.
You shoot a cop, 20 years off the top.
Period.
So.
I agree, because the fucking... The shootings and it's coming from both ways. But what do you say to the people who will say, okay, but what about these cops that are being attacked before this year, like before Eric Garner, before Michael Brown, just the violence and the pressure that cops are under from just doing the day-to-day job. What do you say in defense of the cops' job?
Hang on. Now,
because I know you have a point of view on it.
Okay. I think police officers should get paid $250,000 a year, starting salary.
Okay.
$250K.
Why is that?
But you don't carry a gun.
So it should be a lucrative job.
Sure. These are the people that protect and serve us.
Right.
I got no problem with giving you $250K. If I can pay for a fucking jerk off, to jump around fucking Madison Square Garden and fucking lose game after game after game, if I can pay $20 for a fucking hot dog in fucking Yankee Stadium,
right,
I'll pay extra money in taxes to give you $250K, a cop who treats me with respect.
Right.
You don't carry a gun in the streets. You don't kill my fucking kids.
Right.
You can have a gun in your vehicle if you need it.
Right.
Legalize marijuana so you're not shaking, blacks and Hispanics down for fucking dime bags.
Right.
Legalize coke. Let people shoot some skag between their toes during lunchtime. This is America.
Right. But how do you get realistically, how do we get the guns out to start this new sort of mentality, new program?
Okay, it's a process. We're giving people 6 months to turn in their fucking guns.
More than 6 months.
Okay, we'll give you a year.
18 months.
Give you 18 months. After 18 months, you get caught with a gun, you're doing 5, 10 fucking years.
Period.
Listen, it works in England.
If you have the gun, you fucking asshole, that's it.
That's it.
I don't give a fuck. Cousin, I didn't know.
That's right.
If you have it,
that's right,
you're going to jail.
It works in England,
we scale
people.
the jails down, and we just do abandoned building, and you don't get treated good in jail. It's like we want to punish people, but then we want to go the prisoner's rights. You have a gun, scumbag.
Yeah, that's right.
The whole world knows. 18 months from now.
That's right.
I agree.
So harsh gun laws. Give the cops $250K a piece.
Yep.
Team up in pairs.
Yep.
And no more of this low-level policing.
In terms of?
Stop and frisk.
Right.
Knock it off the stop and frisk. There's more blacks in the penitentiary now than there were slaves in this country during the peak of fucking slavery. That's a fact.
Right.
It's low-level policing.
Right.
Stop shaking down 15-year-old black kids looking for guns.
Right.
Make the gun laws harsh.
Right.
And everybody.
You could stop looking for the guns.
Stop running down on niggas in the hood.
Right.
Did you see this piece of shit cop in Brooklyn kick the black, stomped on his head?
It's crazy.
Now, the blacks and Hispanics have to stop squirming.
What do you mean?
Well, when the cuffs are going on you, put your hands behind your fucking back. Stop squirming.
Right.
Stop trying to explain yourself. Talk to the judge.
Right.
Okay?
Deal with it then.
You keep squirming, I'm going to taser you.
Right.
You might shit on yourself. You'll be on World Star shitting on yourself. Stay still, motherfucker. Stay still. Now, I just want to say something else because, you know, I'm an objectivist.
Right, and I like that. I love that about you.
I don't support tribalism.
Okay, and what is it?
My heart goes out to this guy in Billings, Montana.
Yes.
Richard Ramirez.
Yes.
Holy shit.
When he got... explain that clip. That was
Now, yes, Richard was involved in a shooting earlier in the daytime. Yes, he was, you know, allegedly tweaking off of some type of fucking crystal meth. He had some good shit, you know?
Right.
And, but now you can see the video, Billings, Montana.
Yes.
The cop...
Officer, what was his name?
I forget that fucking prick's name. He beat the charges, so let's not say anything reckless. That would be a lawsuit.
Right, we don't want to get lawsuits.
Exactly.
Because we could get sued. You know about that shit.
Reckless endangerment of the truth.
I know you know about that shit. You have to say allegedly, right? I learned this from you.
I never lost a lawsuit. I'll tell you about that a little later. Anyway, this fucking piece of shit drug addict cop, again, high on authority. Richard is on something. And even if he thought Richard was on something, how do you know that the guy's not mentally challenged?
Right.
Richard couldn't put his hands on the back of the seat. He's paranoid, but he wasn't reaching for a fucking gun.
How do you know that? At the time, at the moment.
He's shaking.
Right.
And here's the kicker. He was not lunging at the officer.
Right.
You see, a cop is supposed to shoot to stop.
Right.
To stop you.
And
his life is in danger.
And I feel like, why not shoot him in the thigh? Well, why do you have to shoot to kill? See, I don't get that.
No, you can't shoot to wound.
Why not? Shoot to stop.
It's against the law. Your life has to be in danger.
They should be trained to go for the legs, because.
Well, do
you know what I'm saying?
If you let the drug addicts shoot people to wound them, then it'll really be out of control. But anyway, I feel sorry for the family of this guy, Richard Ramirez.
Yes.
Again, yes, he was involved in something. They were looking for him, but the cop shoots him 3 times because he doesn't comply.
I know, and
holy shit,
it's vicious. And the Eric Garner thing really took the wind out of me. That fucked me up.
I'd rather focus on the white guy first, because
I know what you mean.
If the cops will shoot, other whites and dogs,
yes,
a nigga's life ain't worth shit.
But you know, I've never seen a videotape of. We're right now. We're on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. You know what? I've never seen a videotape of some arrogant Jew prick who gets pulled over in his Benz on 79th and First Avenue. Who's probably loaded, billionaire, popping shit to the cops like, you're wasting my time. What the fuck are you doing? He's never got pulled out through the fucking car and gotten his ass kicked. And these guys could be just on GP, just on some man-to-man shit, some real arrogant fucks. And the videotape of that, or I've never seen an Italian cop.
Folks, there is no hate like white-on-white hate.
But listen.
Michael Rapaport has been going after the Jews since I fucking first sat down here. He's reminding me of one of my favorite actors, Ryan Gosling, in the role of the Believer. Did you see that film?
Yes, of course.
Holy shit.
Of course I saw it. It was great.
Shit. Was that an awesome
He's a great
film?
fucking actor. But do you know what I'm saying? Like, I like to. What did you say? You're an objectivist.
Objectivist.
I'm gonna consider myself an objectivist.
No. You're a fucking Jew hater. That's
no. But I'm Jewish though. But do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, objectively, it's like. Those motherfuckers should get fucking dealt with too, and they don't get like Beverly Hills.
Objectively,
in Beverly Hills, these motherfuckers, you see them. What the fuck are you doing? I'm wasting my fucking time, man. They don't get pulled out of the car.
Mike, objectively,
yes,
the Jews have been through a Holocaust.
Yes,
they bounced back.
Yes.
Well, maybe I shouldn't say they bounced back. They have regained some of the traction that they've once had.
Yes.
And I think it's a beautiful thing that they have been able to pool their resources, restructure their culture.
Yes.
And I think that's a beautiful fucking thing.
But have you ever seen the videotape of an Italian-American cop beating the shit out of an Italian-American woman? Like that videotape, that footage.
Well, I'm sure I have, but But
I'm saying I've never seen it because I don't think that it happens. Do you know what I'm saying?
There's so many videos of cops brutalizing not just blacks, but Caucasians as well. Whether they be Italians or whether they be Jewish, whether they be Polish, phenotypically Caucasians. Yes, I've seen fucking white cops punching Caucasian females on the side of the fucking head, giving them the boot. Yeah, I've seen it, man.
Okay, I haven't seen it. But in general, do you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's usually, it's predominantly, what you see is predominantly either a white male or a white female cop doing something to a person of color. The majority of what you see in these tapes is that. Right or wrong?
I don't mean to use the Trayvon Martin death as the well, yeah, I'm sorry, you know what? No, it is the springboard for me. But there was a rational realization that came about a couple of years prior to that, because of the fact that I am older and I do want to have kids.
Yes.
And I don't want whether I have kids with a woman of color or with some fucking Caucasian chick. I don't want my kids being choked out,
right,
tasered or beaten by some fucking uneducated drug addict.
Right.
Simply because they're having a good time, on fucking Venice Beach,
right,
smoking a dime bag.
Right. No, I hear you. I agree with you. Nobody
This is America.
wants it.
Don't fucking kill my kid. Don't fucking choke my kid. Because if you do, I'll go into a. Well, I don't want to say what I will do because that could be a charge. But
yeah, you'll allegedly. You have the possibility.
Allegedly, I'll fucking make you sorry. So I'm standing up. I have a show called Stop the Police.
Right.
On YouTube. We have a Kickstarter campaign. I didn't even mention that. Holy shit.
Break it down.
Yeah. If you go to Kickstarter, folks, we have and type in Stop the Police. We're just asking for a $5,000, that's our goal, so that we can continue to do what it is that we do.
And
I'm trying to educate people.
Would it be a show, or would it be like, what would be the ideal forum for it?
Well, I do the show 5 days a week now.
No, but I'm saying, like, in terms of the Kickstarter, I'm asking, like, in terms of the Kickstarter, what? See, I think you should be on TV. I think that Troi Torain should be on TV.
I'll get there. I'm not worried about that.
I'm not worried about it either, but I just think that your point of view and your voice and your dichotomy of things, your sense of humor, your take on the world should be on TV. One question I wanted to ask you: where the fuck is Bucwild? Like, for me as a fan, and I don't follow everything. I don't get to listen all the time. And this is a totally genuine question: did Star and Bucwild break up? Who is Bucwild? What is your relationship, and what is the professional relationship going forward?
Bucwild, a.k.a. Timothy Joseph, is family.
Okay.
There will always be a Star and Bucwild.
And it just lives on.
Yeah, I mean, at times we take breaks from the entertainment industry because we are really objective haters.
Right.
Buck's living in Jersey. He just had a beautiful baby boy. He's got himself a beautiful girlfriend. He's older now.
How old is he?
Oh, man, but Buck's close. I'll just say he's close to 40.
Okay. So he's a little younger than you.
A lot younger than me, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
He's close to 40. He's not. We
don't have to blow him up.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get it if he was the same age.
He's very anti-celebrity.
Right.
He's always been like that. So for him to not be on the radar, it's not a big fucking deal.
I got you.
It's not a big deal.
I got you. He's not a fame-thirsty scumbag like me and you.
Exactly.
I got you.
Well, I'm not really fame-thirsty either. But
I'm just playing. Playing.
He's just very low-key. He's still a big weed head. Uh-huh. When I call him, he's there. If I were to say, Buck, we're moving to Bermuda next month. You down? He would say, yeah, let's go.
And so you guys would do some shit if it's like, I got you.
Yeah. But it's like
there wasn't like a falling out or anything like that.
No.
Okay, and I'm asking total genuine.
Nope.
I'm not like trying to stir up some old.
Nope.
I have no idea.
I mean, he's had times where he just didn't want to do the daily grind,
right?
And I respect that.
Okay.
There's been times when
it is a grind.
It's a fucking grind.
Well, my father worked in radio. But you would appreciate this because you probably remember this. My father was the general manager of WKTU Mellow 92, which then became WKTU Disco 92.
Disco 92, Paco, baby.
Roscoe. So I grew up around a radio station. I was a kid. I mean, I was little. But, I understand some of the way and the structure of the radio business. It is a business.
I'm just now learning the radio business.
Yeah, well, it's a and it's changed so fucking much because when I was a kid, radio was king. There was just, a handful of stations.
So I hear.
And it's now it's like you got fucking people in the living room doing podcasts, and it's a sort of a form of AM radio.
I just gangstered my way in, to be honest with you, because I had a magazine that I was publishing. And then when I closed the magazine down in 1998, I wanted to try and take Star and Bucwild to Hollywood, California. And I because I had been writing for 4 years at The Source, I wanted to be a writer and let's move to LA. And then I got into Hot 97, and I said, give me that fucking morning show. And then I've been stuck in New York ever since.
2 more questions. And I know you don't like to go into old school shit, and you don't even have to be specific. In the hot 97 period, was there ever a time where, and I don't even know, like if you said to me, name some of Star and Buckwild's, biggest controversies, I couldn't tell you them. I just remembered that they happened. Was there ever a time where you guys were like, fuck, we shouldn't have said that? Was there ever a time where you were like, fuck, man? And now you kind of got to own it, and then also the trouble ensued.
I can tell you right now.
Which one?
There was nothing.
Nothing.
I don't regret anything.
But did you ever go fuck, like, or like find out something in after the fact and be like, man, I didn't realize that?
No.
Respect.
And I don't say that to be cocky or overly arrogant.
Right.
I didn't care enough about the genre.
I got you.
To even think like that.
I got you. Do you think you would have had the same attitude if you had started in 2000 on a classic rock station, but you were sort of would you have sort of been the same personality if they had put you, because you respect that genre more? I think that's a good fucking question.
I think my approach would have been different.
Okay.
My approach would have been different. But watching the decline of heavy metal, because I was a big metalhead.
Right.
Big metalhead.
Yes.
I mean, Danzig, fucking, Racer X.
Right. Shit, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Manowar, Pantera.
Did you ever get into punk rock?
What's that?
Punk rock shit?
No. Punk rock was like just a little too sloppy for me.
Right.
It was still too sloppy. It was a little too dirty.
Right.
And heavy metal was more, just I'll just say my thing.
I got you.
I think my approach would have been different, but I am who I am.
Right.
And I would have been critiquing heavy metal, similar to how not the same way, but similar to how I critiqued hip hop.
I got you.
But I had a lot of genuine love for like Vivian Campbell, who played with Ronnie James Dio.
Yes.
Jakey Lee, who played with Ozzy Osbourne.
You revered it. That was your shit.
Yeah. The Smiths.
Yep.
Morrissey.
Yep.
I had a lot of respect for Steve Harris, who played bass for Iron Maiden.
Yep.
Judas Priest. But I would have critiqued them. But I don't think that it would have needed the type of critiquing that hip hop needed and needs.
Right.
Hip hop is the genre of the babies leading the babies.
Mm-hmm. Explain that.
Well, when you don't have a council, parameters and guidelines, you cannot classify yourself as a fucking culture. And I say that respectfully.
Yeah.
Again, I love what Public Enemy has done, Boogie Down Productions, great efforts, awesome catalogs.
Right.
But the separation of this whole old school shit, this terminology, that is what hurt hip hop in such a way. In such a way. And it's like, it's almost like, the young kids look at someone who brought knowledge into the game during the golden era. They look down upon them.
It's fucking terrible.
And that's whack.
And I heard you say something about like how old school rock, it becomes classic rock. Yep. And I hate it. And I don't want to name names. When I see some of these old school artists, quote unquote old school artists, or these legends that they really are. Like I saw Rakim. And when he was Rakim at his highest, you never saw him. Like he was like, he kept a low profile. I saw him in real life. I'm 44, and I've met a lot of motherfuckers. But I was like tripping out that I saw Rakim. And I'm like, this guy should be living like a great artist, like a Robert De Niro, Pablo Picasso, fucking anybody, Laurence Olivier, Marlon Brando. These people should be taken care of by the government. Like Melly Mel should not have
hang on now, because I don't promote socialism in there. Slow down, buddy.
But I'm saying though, great artists should be taken care of. Like
you're right. And if I can just add this, not that I have to go behind what you're saying, I think that, and I hate to use the term old school, but some of the pioneers are playing themselves now. If you were popping in the 80s and your thing was wearing leather pants and jerry curls,
right?
How is it you're now 50 plus and your pants are sagging and you're wearing your baseball hat backwards?
I agree.
Why are you now dressing like an overgrown adolescent?
I agree. It's similar to also.
So the kids are looking at you like, wow,
you're a fucking jerk off.
You're still trying to fucking do what you did 25, 30 years ago.
No matter who you are.
But you look fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You're wearing the new exclusive Jordans.
Right.
And you're 53 years old.
And your feet hurt.
And you're bloated, you're gray.
Yeah, you just had a hip replacement.
And you're talking about, hip hop ain't shit no more, yada, yada.
Right.
Fuck out of here.
And you're 53 and you're talking to 18-year-olds and it just doesn't work anyway.
You're talking to 15-year-olds.
And it's similar to the NBA because the great basketball players that are alive, the Dick Barnetts, Earl the Pearl Monroe, the Jerry Lucas, and all the guys that are still alive, even Bill Russell, even and Jerry West. I mean, he's had a career as an NBA GM and all that stuff. But there's people that are on the top 50 list, whether you agree with it or not, that are struggling. And it kills me to see it. And when I interviewed a lot of dudes from when the Garden Was Eden, I mean, these guys had jobs. While they were stars,
right.
While they were playing in all-star games, and you see them now, and they live very humble lives. Yep. It's so similar to the rappers, and whatever. I just hate fucking seeing it. Right. I hate seeing these motherfuckers that I loved and so many other people loved, and that changed the world really. Because without fucking Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One, Rakim, Tribe, De La, whoever the fuck you like, there would be no black president. That's a fact. Hip-hop...
I'm sorry, are you talking about President Obama?
There would be no President Obama. I think that hip-hop had a humongous...
Mike, I've enjoyed my stay, but can I please say get the fuck out of here?
No, you don't... do you not think that hip-hop influenced President Obama?
Hip-hop had nothing to do with Obama winning the White House.
The music, the influence, the infusion.
White liberals voted President Obama into office. Hip-hop has got no power. It's powerless.
Not hip-hop, but I'm saying in terms of the vote, it was a younger vote. It was a black vote. Am I wrong or right? I know you know facts, but am I wrong or am I right? See, this is why we can do some shit together.
A young vote, yes, but a hip-hop vote? Get the fuck out of here.
But the young vote is a hip-hop vote. Wouldn't you say that? Wouldn't you say everybody under 40 has, at one point or another, loved, even if it was just one rap song?
Young vote, but a hip-hop vote? No, Mike.
But the young vote is a hip-hop vote. Just like in the 60s, the young vote was the radical, you would say in terms of musicality, the protesters, the Vietnam protesters, you would say that was the Beatles, that was the Rolling Stones.
President Obama didn't have his pants sagging and his hat on backwards talking about yo, 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 yo.
But do you understand what I'm saying?
White liberals voted because they were tired of fucking the Bush administration and those that were going to come after Bush, and I'll keep it, 500 with you. I voted for John Cheney and that fucking nut job, Sarah Palin. I also voted for Mitt Romney.
But you don't think, these hipsters, these young liberal hipsters, okay, they...
Hipsters, yes, but hip-hop, no.
No, but those hipsters...
Hip-hop is powerless.
I'm not saying the... But do you understand what I'm saying?
Sorry, Jay-Z, I know you just said hip-hop has power, but in my opinion, it's fucking powerless. I'm sorry.
All right. We've been talking for so fucking long that I think we're going to have to pick this up another time. First of all, I want to say thank you for talking to me.
Good to meet you, man. Thank you for having me. Next time, we'll talk about why the Beastie Boys are such trash, and they always have been.
I cannot wait to talk about why the Beastie Boys are such trash and always have been.
R.I.P. to Adam Yurick.
Yes.
Friend of yours?
Yeah. I didn't know them well,
okay.
But I respected the shit out of them. But I can't...
You gotta fight.
You don't fuck with the Beastie... Forget that song. Forget that song. All the other shit. Here's the thing. I'm going to go back to my final question. This is one of my first questions. If you had to bring... You have no choice. 3 albums. You picked your 5 albums that... We're going to end this on this. If you had to, on you're going to an island for the rest of your life, and they said, we don't care if you have an opinion about this. You have to bring... You're going to hate this question. You brought your 5 albums, and you have to bring 3 hip-hop albums. What 3 hip-hop albums would you bring on that trip for the rest of your life? These are the only...
Jesus.
You're forced to bring them. Come on, you can't tell me 3
Okay.
This is the rest of your life, man. On an island.
Public Enemy.
Okay, Public Enemy.
Fear of a Black Planet.
Yes.
Jungle Brothers.
Okay. First Jungle Brothers album?
What was the second one on Warner Brothers?
It wasn't Straight Out the Jungle. That was the first one.
Okay, I forget the name.
It might have been Jungle Brothers.
Okay.
It was Straight Out the Jungle was my shit.
Okay.
That was my shit.
And the third one?
Because I didn't fuck with that house shit. I don't fuck with house hip-hop.
Okay. The third one?
Yes.
Any album or CD by Gangstar.
Okay. Good.
Respect to DJ Premier, R.I.P. Guru, of course.
That's a good answer.
You cannot even claim, I don't care who you are, how old you are, or how young you are, you cannot claim to be in tune with hip-hop if you don't own a Gangstar CD.
Oh, no. Fucking jump off a building. If you don't own one...
Kill yourself.
Jump off a building...
Put the Mossberg in your mouth and do the Lord's work.
Yeah.
And there is no God. I say that respectfully.
You say ding, 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 ding. I got to put the ding, ding, ding. I got to put the star ding, ding, ding.
Public Enemy, Jungle Brothers, and Gangstar.
Now, let me just, I'm going to end this.
You got to go. You got to go.
I'm going to go, but I just want to say this because I hope he's listening. This fucking guy, Alias.
Who?
Your guy.
Oh, my DJ.
You just said who. You heard him say who, Alias. I tried to give you some shout out here. Now, this cocksucker, Alias, and I say that affectionately, why doesn't he ever stick his face on the camera? And also, this motherfucker, you're an articulate, you speak passionate. Can this motherfucker finish a sentence?
Hang on. First of all, respect to the man that holds me down. We're out in no man's land.
Yes.
Alias is probably the most dedicated DJ I have ever met in my life.
No doubt, I'm sure. But I want this guy to show his face every now and then. Can he get some screen time?
He does what he wants to. He plays his position.
Okay.
He's a friend.
Yes.
Any radio station would be honored to have a DJ/employee like DJ Alias. I've seen people up at Hot 97 not respect the craft,
yes,
get lazy,
yes,
bloated, fat, and gray,
yes,
and they lose their fucking stamina.
Yes.
Alias motivates me.
Okay.
And I'm very fortunate to have DJ Alias as my co-pilot.
Okay, good. All right, so I wanted to give him some fucking love because I fuck with you guys hard. I'm a fan of his
I could not be doing what it is I'm doing right now without him because he's so dedicated.
All right.
So somebody else would have fucking caved in after 6 months of launching.
I could imagine
what it is that I do.
I could imagine.
And I want to say one more thing because you've been taking stabs at the Jews here since we sat down.
I'm a Jew. I'm so Jewish.
I want to say respect to my homie, my dear friend. He's not my Jew friend. He's my friend who happens to be a Jew, DJ Vlad.
Okay, yes, DJ Vlad's good too. Yeah. All right, this is the I Am Rapaport podcast. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, man.
Real pleasure. It's a pleasure to talk to you. And we're out.
We're out.